Hi, basketball fans. My name is Coach Frank. I'm from the Netherlands, and Coach Dimitri from Greatest U asked me if I would be so kind to share some knowledge and insights regarding coaching 3-on-3 basketball, and specifically for youth players and developing youth 3-on-3 basketball. Um, First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank Dimitri for creating this platform. Um, I saw the previous speakers, learned a lot from it, and I think it's a great job creating this platform for the 3-on-3 community, for fans, for players, for coaches, you know, for understanding the game a little bit more, getting some insights of strategics, techniques, so that everybody can learn more about the beauty of 3-on-3 basketball. So I'm honored to be here and to share some knowledge with you. I hope you find it interesting, and please don't hesitate if you have any questions on contacting me or Dimitri, and I'm happy to provide you with answers on all of your questions. So let's start off, and hope you had lots of fun. So I wanted to start off with a video of Kobe Bryant, an interview with Jay Shetty on coaching his daughter's team. And Kobe says some really interesting stuff in this video. Unfortunately, it isn't possible to show you this video via Zoom. There's no sound, so you basically can't hear anything. So I want to invite you, if you have the time, to look at this video on YouTube from like 25 minutes, and he says some really interesting stuff. Again, unfortunately, it's not possible to show you this in this video, but in the next slides, I'm going to use some real interesting quotes of Kobe during this video. So Kobe Bryant mentions some interesting stuff in this interview because, for instance, he talks about not giving answers during practice or during games, but asking them questions. Um, that's quite interesting because I see a lot of coaches just telling players all the time what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and all the players are really focused on their coach. Coach, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. The other thing he said is our job is to try to inspire the creativity inside our children so that they can think through how to problem solve situations. So we as a coach provide a situation, and we let the children problem solve it. We let the children, the players, find a solution. We let them discuss with each other. How should we do this? And if they found a solution, we're going to try. And if it didn't work, we're going to discuss. What didn't work? Why didn't it work? What should we do better? So we really try to let the players find a solution for themselves. The level of excitement to practice every day increases because it's a process they are owning. They are not coming to get orders barked at them every day. That's a very important item because, especially in this category, for instance, under 18, it's a difficult age. Becoming an adult, these kids want to be part of the process. They want to be part of, the solutions. They want to think with the coach, and it's an important tool you can use as a coach, to make the players learn better and to make the players better decision makers, to make the players more creative in situations because they have different tools they learn by themselves. Of course, through the coach. So during practice, during games or during or between games, during video analysis, uh, every time I'm having a coaching role, these items are very important to me, like decision taking, discussion, ownership, autonomy, self-regulation, teaching each other, practice doing. These are all items that uh, teach the kids how to manage the game, important game like the final, the final of the World Championship, um, how to manage the games themselves. You know, I like the discussion during practice between the players. Not long, but like really short. I teach them how to discuss. I like if the players have ownership over their own process because it keeps them motivated. It's their process, like Kobe said. It's the process they are owning. So it's not something that the coach tells me to do. I'm telling myself to do this. There's autonomy in the team, um, and it teaches them to self-regulate. You know, not only on the pitch but also in the hotel. What time do we get up? What do we eat? What time do we go to bed? Um, what time before the game are we game ready? Um, I want them to be ready at a big tournament to be, you know, to manage themselves. I should be a supporter. Um, Another great coaching tool is that they teach each other. For instance, the ball handler teaching the big how to roll, giving his perspective on a pick and roll, but also the big teaching the ball handler uh, how to run over the screen from his perspective so that we can create angles, passing angles, roll angles, so that we can create the best advantage. So they teach each other. And me as a coach, I'm constantly asking questions. And with these questions, I'm kind of, you know, setting him in the right course. Um, and also, practice doing is like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to let the players make mistakes because by practice doing, you make mistakes and then you reflect. And if you reflect on your mistakes, okay, so let's do this and this better. Okay, so practice again. That went well, but we can do this and that better. Okay, let's practice again. So the decision taking during the games is, you know, if if all of this falls in place, you will learn that the decision taking during the games is 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 much more fluid. They don't need the coach actually. The coach is a supporter at the stands. These items are like really important to me when coaching a 3-3 youth team because I'm really developing them to make their own decisions, to manage the game themselves without my help. So how does it look like during practice, for instance, like practical? Uh, um, like we have this challenge. How are we going to cover the pick and roll? And I'm going, as a coach, I'm going to ask the questions. What happens? What are they doing? How are they doing that? Where does it happen? Is it on the side? Is it on the top? When does it happen? Is it during the dribble out, or is it right after the pass out? Why do they do it? What advantage are they creating? So you really have to ask the right questions. So you set the players in thinking mode. Okay, so what is the right solution? And in this discussion, players often uh, tend to come with answers. And of course, um, if they come with an answer, I don't really like as a coach because I find a lot of disadvantages in their solution. I'm going to tell them, or I'm going to ask them another question. Okay, so you say this, but what happens when the defense does that? Um, and and then they're going to think again. Yeah, okay, so okay, yeah, we better do that. Okay, and then if I have them in the right direction, we're going to practice. Okay, so we have the agreement. Everybody knows what to do. Okay, let's do it. And then we're going to practice. And then it's trial and error. They're going to try. It's going wrong, of course. So we're going to communicate. That's after a few minutes. We stop the drill and we analyze and reflect. So what happened? What did you do when the screener came? Um, why did you step back, or why didn't you have physical contact with the screener? Why did you go play help side? Why should you do that? Is that something we agreed upon? So what should you do better? Um, always keep the players in thinking mode and always let them create the answers. And then we're going to practice again. Okay, so did we do better? No. Okay, what should we do better then? Or did we do better? Yes. Okay, so does everybody agree this is the best coverage on the pick and roll? Yes. Okay, let's practice until perfect. What you have, um, uh, what we did right here is we formed a you know a universal agreement. Everybody agrees. Now it's not the coach's decision, but it's the team's decision. You know, everybody is behind this solution. Um, and then if we are all agreed, we practice until perfect. We practice until perfect, and the most important thing is we have to address each other when we forsake. You know, when we agree that we don't play help side on the weak side in a pick and roll situation, we have to address each other if a player does play help side, um, and that's also a communication item, um, because especially in 3-and-3, you are with the four of with four players, and you have to learn how to address somebody if he's not uh, yeah if he's not doing what he should do, what you agreed as a team. So this is basically practical training situation in my opinion for a 3-and-3 youth team. And this seems like a real long talking discussion group, but it's basically not. It's because you can in three questions and small quick answers, you can do that in like 1 minute, and you can practice for 15 minutes, and then you can discuss what went right, what went wrong, and then you can practice again. So the way of communicating with a team is very important. So I already mentioned you really have to ask the right questions. You really have to ask the players questions that put them in thinking mode and solution mode. Um, and I think 3-and-3 coach is not a PlayStation coach. It's an inspirator, a really craftsman. You have to have all the knowledge, um, and you are basically providing a 3-and-3 workshop, not a practice. You are putting them in situations, and you are giving them tools to problem solve the situations themselves. Yeah, don't be a drill instructor or a PlayStation coach. Don't try to control all the movements of the three players in the field. You can control it at the World Championship. So don't try to control it at practice. They have to learn to problem solve the situation themselves. But you have to ask the right questions and control the process. You are the coach, you control the process, but the team is owning the process also. So basic questions are like, what did you do when the defense ices the pick and roll? What did you do? Like, ask them what did he do? Did he remember what he did? No. So you should learn that he should, think about what he's doing. Okay, so when you did this, how could have you prevent the offensive player to make a back cut? How could have you prevent that? Okay, the player provides you with an answer, and if it's okay, then okay, so do that the next time. If it's not okay, you're telling or you're asking another question. Okay, what happened when you did that? Let the players recall what happened, and let them find a solution how to do it better. Um, if it's really hard for a player, you could ask a question like, what would happen if you do this or that? How can we solve this the next time? Okay, so if the players have found the solutions with each other, you can conclude the discussion, and we can say as a team, okay, guys, now can we agree on this? You do this, you do that, you do that. Okay, let's practice. And then again, address everybody, especially the teammates, with each other. They have to address each other when somebody isn't doing what he's supposed to do, what we agree as a team. So last but not least, like I said, it's very important. As a coach, you have got to know the answers. You have got to show the team that you have the knowledge, you have the experience. You should be the 3-and-3 craftsman. You have to know where to go. You know, and it has to fit in the philosophy of, for instance, the federation or the total program you're running. So you kind of manage the direction the players go, but by asking the right questions, um, they go there by themselves and they own the process. So through questioning, players figure out the solutions you want for themselves. So it makes it also their solution. For them, they have to be like it has to be our solution, not the coach. 3-and-3 players are players who like to problem solve situations themselves. They don't like the coach telling them what to do. So it has to be their solutions, the team solutions. After agreements and decisions we made as a team, we take responsibility and we address each other's behavior and decisions at all times. So the most easy thing for me is as the if the team makes agreement, we as a team with the 5 of us, um, I can address a player very easily because it's not my rule. It's not my rule as a coach. It's an agreement and a decision we all made. So I only have to address this player with an agreement we all made. We were all part of. Also he. Um, so it's really easy to address players. I don't have to punish anybody. I don't, and you can see and you will see as a coach, uh, players will adapt more easy because they have made the agreement. They have made uh, the solutions. So I told you a lot about the how in the process. How do we coach? How do we communicate? How do we run the process together from recruitment until a world championship or a European championship. But of course, the next part is if you design the how, then you're going to design the what. What are we teaching? What are we running? What are we drilling? And so the what consists, in my opinion, in two parts. That's the mental development of the game, and the skills development of the game. And for, for youth players, like the mental development is really important, because especially for youth, especially under 18 guys, like they're adolescents, they're running into trying to be an adult. They think they are an adult, but they're really not. So their mental development is very important. So I mentioned a few items which I feel is very important in the development of youth 3-3 basketball players. For instance, aggressive mindset. You have to be aggressive. You have to finish. You have to love the contact. You have to look for the contact. You have to be aggressive in defense. That's an aggressive mindset you have to have. An active mindset, and with active mindset, I mean you are here, you are now. What happened 1 minute ago is not important. What happened 2 seconds ago is not important. What's gonna happen 5 seconds from now is not important. Now, here and now, that's important. You have to be. This is my job. This is my responsibility. I have to take out this guy. I have to make this 3-pointer, 2-pointer, of course. I have to do this, and I'm focusing on this, what I'm doing right now. Because 3-3 is a 10-minute sprint. We all know that. And if you don't have focus for 1 minute, like it's very hard to get back into the game. So you have to have the active mindset, and you can train that. Responsibility, accountability. A lot of young players tend to, put the responsibility with their teammate, or blame the ref for a bad call, or whatever. No, you have to be responsible for your own actions, and you have to be accountable for your own actions. Creativity, decision taking is very important. You have to make decisions continuously. You have to make decisions every split second, and you shouldn't worry about a bad decision. You shouldn't be blaming yourself for a bad decision. No, you have made a decision. On to the next one. And of course, it's really important that you are creative. You are in a situation, and there are a lot of solutions. And you have to make the right solution. Think about the right solution. You have to make the right decision. And in 3-3 basketball, it's so important that you make the right decisions, and not worry about them. Not think about the decisions after or before. The last one is transition mindset. Of course, like the 12-second shot clock. It's so quick. I've seen so many situations where somebody is going for a layup, or he blames himself and is angry at himself because he missed the layup, or he needs some time to reflect on the situation, like what happened here, and then within 2 seconds, like a 2-pointer bomb. This transition mindset is so important for 3-3 basketball players, and they only learn this item, this mental items. They're only going to learn that if they're making the mistakes, and you reflect on those situations. You have to visualize those situations for them. And of course, there's the development of skills and tactical development. Of course, you have to have a skill set, and I put down 5 items from which I believe are very important. Of course, there's a lot of one-on-one defense, no help side, a lot of switching. So there's a lot of one-on-one basketball. And you have to be aware of angles of approaching the rim. You have to love finish with contact. You have to um have to be a skilled one-on-one player. Um, have to take advantage um, from one-on-one offense. Me personally, as a coach, I don't like one-on-one ISOs. I really like to have a one-on-one from ball movement. That's number 3 in this list, because I believe one-on-one from a static defensive organization isn't a high percentage shot. So I really like players to play one-on-one from attacking the closeout. I believe pick and roll is a very, very essential, big, important part of 3-and-3 basketball. So I really want them to understand playing the pick and roll with angles of the screener, angles of the approach of the screen, where to put the screen, the footwork during the screen, where to roll after the screen, how to attack the screener. So it's all about angles, and that's a big tactical development they have to think about, and where we're working on a lot. Of course, with youth players who are playing 5-on-5 all year, it's very hard to switch from help side on the weak side to no help side on weak side at all. I'm going to show you that after in the video clip. And we're always working with a 2-man switch in pick and roll. And number 5, I think that's it's a generic item, but it's super important. You have to make good, quick reads in advantage situations. So I always say to my players, we're going to look for an advantage situation. We're going to look for a 3-on-2 situation or a 2-on-1 situation from the pick and roll, from ball movement and closeout, attacking the closeouts, or maybe from mismatches in the post. So we're going to have advantage situations. We're going to look for advantage situations. And then when you are in the advantage situation, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, you have to make a good quick read, and that's basically what we practice a lot.